In 1942, a black Navy mess attendant named Charles Jackson French made history. But America tried to forget. French wasn't trained for combat. He wasn't allowed to serve on the front lines. But after a Japanese attack sank his ship near the Solomon Islands, French found himself in a position no training could prepare him for. With more than a dozen wounded sailors stranded in shark-infested waters and enemy forces still nearby, French made a choice. He tied a rope around his waist and jumped in. The raft held 15 wounded men. The current was strong. Charles swam, dragging them all through dark waters hour after hour. He didn't know if help was coming. He only knew the Japanese were near, and capture meant death. One of the sailors later said, "He swam until his body was numb, until we were far enough away to be rescued. No gear, no weapon, just a rope and his will." After 6 to 8 hours in the water, they were finally rescued. Charles Jackson French collapsed from exhaustion. Word of his heroism spread quickly. Newspapers called him the human tugboat. He was awarded a letter of commendation, but not the Navy Cross, not a medal, not a promotion. The sailors he saved, all white. And in 1942, that still mattered. Even the public praise would eventually fade, and French would carry the weight of it alone. Charles Jackson French never saw real recognition in his lifetime. No medals, no statues, just silence. After the war, he struggled, fought PTSD, faced racism. He died in 1956, alone and largely forgotten. It wasn't until decades later that his name began to re-emerge. A Navy training center was named in his honor. A street, a stamp. But still, few know the man who swam for hours in shark-infested waters to save men who might not have even shaken his hand on land. Charles Jackson French was a hero, even when America refused to call him one.